Welcome to the InfoWars Nightly News. I'm David Knight. It's Thursday, December 19th, 2013, and here are our top stories.
Tonight, A&E shoots down a Duck Dynasty star's religious beliefs. Then, an incarcerated man is dead. Was it murder or suicide? And with record ICE coverage, are carbon credits a good deal? That's next on the InfoWars Nightly News.
I'm too busy breaking reports how the U.S. government plans to start killing kids up to age 3. Why don't you investigate some real crime?
Well, the former head of the CIA is now calling for the execution of Snowden by hanging. Former CIA chief James Woolsey says Snowden should be hanged by the neck until dead, if convicted by a jury of his peers. I guess we should be grateful that he at least puts that caveat in there, that we would at least have a trial by jury for somebody accused of a capital offense like treason. We don't see that in the FISA courts, of course. There's no jury. There's not even an opposing counsel. And of course, we're not allowed to see what the secretive decisions are. Let's talk about having a trial by jury for James Clapper for lying to Congress. Let's talk about a trial by jury for General Keith Alexander for violating the Constitution. Let's have a real trial by jury. Let's not let these guys get away with this. He says, I think giving Snowden amnesty would be idiotic. Well, I think it's idiotic not to prosecute people who openly violate the law. We're just asking for trouble when we allow this to happen. Now, of course, talking about hanging him, talking about him being a traitor, takes the attention off of the actual crimes of the NSA, even off of the Snowden documents. That's what we really want to focus on, not on Snowden, not on Greenwald. We want to focus actually on the NSA, not even the Snowden documents. And that highlights why it's such a dangerous thing for Glenn Greenwald to make it about himself, to make himself the source of these documents, to only release 1% of these. That's why we're calling for him, that's why I'm calling for him to release all of the documents. Greenwald can still do his multi-million-dollar media deals if he lets all of the documents out, all the information that he has out. But here's the dangerous thing. As Steve Watson pointed out in the article, meanwhile, the Obama administration is currently conducting a phony dog and pony show to try to convince us that they're doing something to rein in the NSA, saying that they are going to give the public's right to privacy as well as transparency another look. This is what's dangerous about this. Only letting a little bit of this out, keeping back the most damaging, most shocking information, is allowing them to rein this in and to offer this false deal of privacy for security, which is what Max Levchin of PayPal suggested to Charlie Rose back in August. That is a very dangerous, and it's a false choice, because you're not going to have any security if you lose your privacy, and you're not going to have any liberty either. You're simply going to be a slave in the panopticon state. And of course, we keep hearing, don't worry if your information gets out there. If you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't worry about that. Well, that's not true, certainly in a privacy setting, and it's also not true for your financial information. It's also not true even if you don't have anything to hide. They can change your data. Look at what they're doing to financial data. The government is using the NSA to change amounts in bank accounts, warns a panel. A White House review panel report, which is a 300-page report prepared for Obama by the Review Group on Intelligence and Communications Technology, pointed out two things. Number one, the governments should not use surveillance to steal industry secrets to advantage their domestic industry. That's been accused of doing industrial espionage for American companies by many people. Look at the second thing here. Governments should not use their offensive cyber capabilities to change amounts held in financial accounts or otherwise manipulate the financial system. Now, former NSA whistleblower William Binney has stated that, of course, the NSA has a very deep relationship with many financial institutions worldwide, and especially with those like PayPal and credit card companies. And that would be expected because the government is watching everyone's financial information to make sure that everybody pays their taxes. But this is going beyond even that. This is suggesting that the government is actually going in and not just violating your privacy, but also changing data that's in there. Now, if other people were to do that, we would call that a crime, and that's what people are calling it with Target's infiltration. There's been 40 million credit card accounts that may have been breached. Of course, it's a crime when it happens at Target, and it's not being done by the NSA. On Thursday, the nation's second largest discounter said that data connected to about 40 million credit and debit card accounts was stolen as part of a breach that began over the Thanksgiving weekend. 45.7 million credit and debit card users were exposed to credit card fraud, according to them. And there's talk about how this is really going to hurt the company financially because it destroys confidence in the company. And of course, that's what's happening in America. It's destroying confidence in the American government, if anybody has any left, but it's also even damaging American companies because people around the world are assuming that American companies are totally in bed with the NSA. That's why we need to rein this in and get back to the Constitution.
The facts are in. The studies are legion. Sodium fluoride and other members of the fluorine family that are added to Western water supplies are devastating the health and cognitive ability of the people that drink it. So the question is, why are the social engineers adding it to the water? Simple. Dumb down the host population that the parasitic technocracy is feeding on. We developed Fluoride Shield to be the highest quality, highest standards because I use it every day and my family uses it every single day. Let's take a closer look at the ingredients that make up this special proprietary formula. Tamarind has been celebrated for its ability to immobilize toxic fluoride residues, while zeolites have a long history of attracting and holding toxic compounds. Enter fulvic acid, an excellent cleansing agent. Then we added the highest quality shilajit, a rare compound that is collected from the high mountains of the Himalayas. We topped it all off with the powerhouse herb cilantro that is intended to mobilize fluoride and other dangerous compounds for removal from the body. And the final touch to energize this formula is our proprietary nascent iodine. And as always, consult your physician as well because that is important. And finally, Fluoride Shield, Survival Shield, and all the products at InfoWarsLife.com grew out of my quest to try to find the very best compounds from God's cornucopia to protect myself and my family. And from our research, I believe we are bringing you the best, highest quality products. And you have that commitment from Alex Jones and the entire InfoWars crew.